Hi, welcome to the latest in Digital Spy's video reviews of the biggest movie releases out now in cinemas. This time we're focusing on Rocketman, the Elton John biopic. I'm Ian, and my Elton John karaoke song will be Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me. Rocketman tells the story of Elton John from his early days at the Royal Academy of Music all the way through to his rise to fame, his struggles with drug addiction, alcohol addiction and pretty much every other addiction he lists at the start of the film, through to when he's in rehab, when he's looking back on his life and working out where he's gone wrong and who he's let down along the way.
I could hear the whole tune in my head. It was all there, I could see all the notes and I just had to get it out.
It's a little bit funny, this feeling inside.
What did you say your name was again?
My name is...
Reggie!
Reginald Dwight.
Reginald? That's my granddad's name.
First things first, a lot of people have been comparing this to Bohemian Rhapsody purely because it's another music-led biopic in short space of time, and Rocketman director Dexter Fletcher stepped in to help out finish Bohemian Rhapsody last year when Bryan Singer left the project. It's definitely not Bohemian Rhapsody though. They're completely separate films. Rocketman is very much a musical fantasy where Elton John's music is used in a musical type way, whereas Bohemian Rhapsody was a much more straightforward biopic that played loose with the facts but was largely telling the story of Queen. This is not that film. If the idea of Elton John becoming a literal rocket man turns you off, it's not the film for you.
Maybe I should have tried to be more ordinary.
You were never ordinary.
Stepping into the sequin shoes of Elton John is Taron Egerton, and it's a fantastic performance. It's honestly, if it wasn't so early in the season, it's Oscar-worthy, potentially when it comes around. He performs all the songs, and there are times where you just completely forget you're not actually watching Elton John, as Taron tries on all of the fantastic outfits that Elton has worn over his career, and it's just really a knockout performance.
I was trying to do something bold. Why are you still something flashy?
Can you even play the piano in those?
Let them know who you are. And just don't kill yourself with drugs.
Taron's not alone though. Even though it's very much Elton John's film, he's got excellent support from Jamie Bell as Elton's longtime writing partner Bernie Taupin and Richard Madden as John Reid, Elton's manager and former lover who really doesn't have the best of intentions for him. It's a hiss-worthy performance and that's kind of the point.
It's never gonna last.
Let's just enjoy it while we can.
Those sleeping arrangements get out, all of this is gone.
I just hope you realise you're choosing a life of being alone forever.
Don't you want to just sing without this ridiculous paraphernalia?
People don't pay to see Reg Dwight. They pay to see Elton John.
Sorry.
I know.
Less successful though is Bryce Dallas Howard as Elton's mum, Sheila. Her accent pretty much goes all the way across the UK, so you're kind of lucky that she's not really in it that much, and she's just there to show that Elton didn't really have the best relationship with his parents or the happiest upbringing, despite what he says in rehab where he had quite a happy childhood. It's not the case, and the whole film is essentially Elton learning to love himself for what he does.
So how does a fat boy from nowhere get to be a soul man?
You gotta kill the person you were born to be in order to become the person you want to be.
I'm thinking of changing my name to Elton.
But that's my name.
Yeah, I know.
Alongside Taron's excellent performance though, the other star of the show is the fantastic musical numbers, where all of Elton's biggest hits from Candle in the Wind to Saturday Night's Alright for Fighting to the titular Rocketman are reinvented for a more musical bent. So you've got Saturday Night's Alright for Fighting turns from a pub brawl into a fun fair, and it's just a huge group number that's just joyous to watch. They might infuriate Elton purists because you don't always get the full song and you just get little hints of them here and there. But for anyone else, you're looking for a fresh take on Elton's songs, this is about as best as you could hope to get.
And I think it's gonna be a long, long time till touchdown brings me round again to find I'm not gonna fail, they think I am at home. Oh no, 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 I'm right there.
one downside though to the film structure of Elton telling his story from rehab in a musical fantasy type way, is you don't really feel you learn anything about Elton John himself. You don't find out how he came up with all his biggest hits, and it's quite one-sided in that even though it shows all of the downsides of Elton and how he alienated most of the people around him at times, it's still very much Elton's film. You're still sympathetic with Elton and you rarely leave his side. Even when people leave him, it's generally framed as though it's their fault for leaving him, not Elton pushing them away.
I'll still be collecting my 20% long after you've killed yourself.
The first hour of the film is definitely much stronger than the second half, as the film goes into Elton's drug and alcohol addiction, and the film takes on a more scattershot structure. At one point, Elton could be at the bottom of a swimming pool after a drug overdose, and literally the next moment he's on a plane after performing Rocketman on stage. There's just not the emotional depth and connection that was in the first half, and it's still entertaining to watch, but it just takes on a scene-by-scene nature, and it's just not as interesting and engaging.
What a shy little boy you were. Look at you now.
However, that doesn't stop Rocketman being a hugely entertaining 2 hours at the cinema, and is very much the film that Elton John would want to make. He may be a producer, but unlike Bohemian Rhapsody, they haven't taken out the excesses of his life. He does have sex with John Reid, he does do a lot of drugs, he does drink a lot of alcohol, and he is a bit horrible to a lot of people.
It's never gonna last.
Let's just enjoy it while we can.
Rocketman is out now in UK cinemas. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe below for more of Digital Spy's video reviews. Thanks, bye.